Hello, my friends. Welcome to the DVSA communities. And today we have the honor to have here Aziz.
How you doing, Erica? Nice to be here.
And today I want to share with you important information for those that want to become entrepreneur. Do you have a little bit to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. So, my name again is Aziz Shabazz with Fathom Realty, and I am a managing broker. So I have my own brokerage, and I hire and I train realtors. Could be new realtors. It could be experienced agents that need to increase sales. But one reason why I'm here today, and I wanted to talk to everyone about becoming a realtor, is because I was that individual that was always looking for what type of business could I start? What type of new career could I start? And I would stay up long nights, doing research, trying to figure out what was my next step in life. And I never thought about being a realtor, even though I had already had so much experience with being a realtor. I never thought about it as a career. I thought it was more like a part-time job. I could just make a few dollars here and there. But when I finally got into it, I learned that it's definitely a career. It's definitely a business. And it's a business that, weighs specifically on your ability to perform. It's also a low overhead. So it's an easy business to start. And it just takes time and commitment to get your license and start your business, because as a realtor, we're 1099, right? Independent contractors. So we don't pay taxes every time we get a commission check. We pay taxes at the end of the year. And a lot of people look at realtor as someone that's working for a brokerage, someone that's working for a company, but really the business is based off of you. A lot of businesses, like if you're starting a retail shop, a store, and you're selling clothing, you have to buy the merchandise. You have to rent the physical location. You have to pay your light bill, your gas bill. With being a realtor, you don't have all of that overhead. You basically focus on getting your license. You can put all your investment, the money that you invest into yourself, into your business, into marketing.
Explain how is that they can get this information.
Okay, so and I'll be just completely honest. You can either go to classes, because you have to take 75 hours worth of classwork, then you have to take 15 hours of applied classroom work, which used to only be where you had to go for the 15 hours to a physical class. But now they allow you to do that on like a webinar as well. But I took my classes online. So my full 75 hours I took online. My 15 hours I went to an actual class. But now you don't have to do that. But I studied while I was working. I worked full time. I had a full-time job, and I took my classes while I was doing that full-time job. And then after I got my license, I was a realtor part-time for about a year and a half before I was able to leave my full-time job and become a full-time agent. Make sure you want to do that. Make sure you have the passion to become a realtor. And from that point, then enroll in your classes, take your classes, pass the test. I offer tips. I help people, and offer them tips on how to get through the classes, because after you take the classes and you pass out of the class, you have to take the state exam. The state exam can be a little bit tricky because they try to trick you with a few questions, right? But what they're really doing is testing your understanding of how much you really know. Once you have your state exam, you're ready to sign on with the brokerage. You have to sign on with the brokerage. You can't just be a freelance realtor. And then once you sign on with that brokerage, then you're able to start, helping clients to find their first home.
And how much could it cost, like the exam and materials and everything, for someone to become a realtor, especially for someone that doesn't have that financial?
That's a good question, because it's not a lot of money.
Okay.
I think, and don't quote me on this because there's different schools, but I think for me, it was about 300 for the 75-hour class. I think I spent another 150 for the 15-hour class. After that, the state exam, it might have been about $35, $40, something like that. And then at that point, so what is that? Almost $500 just to get your license, approximately, give or take. And then after that, once you have your license, you sign on with the brokerage. And from there, you do have dues that you have to pay when you join a board, because there's the Chicago Association of Realtors board. You got Fox Valley, you've got Moore, Main Street, to name a few, and you have to be a part of the board. And it's about $1,200 a year, somewhere in that range. But they can be broken up into quarterly payments, and I believe Fox Valley, you can even break that up into monthly payments.
Nice. Yes, Aziz, can you tell us more about how the process works from start to finish?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of going back to what you were saying about credit, when we were talking about credit. Everyone's not prepared at this point. Their credit may not be in the best shape. But what a lot of people don't understand is that you don't need to have immaculate, great credit. You can purchase a home with the score as low as 580. Okay, so you get 3 scores, of course, your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. The lowest score is actually dismissed, right? So they're looking for 2 scores that are above 580. A lot of people don't realize that, okay? But that's the first step. The first step is to get pre-approved for a loan, okay? A lot of people want to go out, they want to look at homes before they pre-approve. That's the second step. You need to know what you can afford before we can go out, okay? After you get pre-approved, we do a search for homes for your criteria. We go out, we look at homes. Within the first 2 days, after a contract is accepted by both the buyer and the seller, within the first 2 days, you do earnest money, which is like a deposit to show the seller that you're serious about buying a house. After that, you're going to do your own inspection with your personal inspector, because you want to make sure that the house that you're buying is in good condition, an acceptable condition for you, right? You'll also, after that, you'll have an appraiser come out. Your lender will order an appraiser to come out to the property, make sure it's valued at what you're paying for it. You don't want to overpay for a house, and the bank definitely doesn't want to give you a loan for more than the house is worth, okay? Right. In that process moving forward, you'll do processing of the loan. Your lender will process the paperwork, all of the documents for the loan to make sure they can get you that pre-approval. And then he'll get what's called a CTC. When he has a clear to close, that's when you'll be closing on the house, going to the closing table, getting the keys to your new home, and celebrating. It's not a difficult process, very easy process. And I try to break that down for the clients as we go.
Thank you very much for coming to DVSA Communities to talk about these 3 topics, which is how you can become an entrepreneur, how you can become a homeowner, and how you can repair your credit. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.